Good evening. I'm Leland Vittert on the program tonight. Forgotten in a foreign land.
Mr. President, Racial opponents deported the kids are outside the White House. What do you say to that?
President Biden meets with the Japanese prime minister but gets nowhere in bringing home wrongfully imprisoned Navy Lieutenant Ridge Alcanis, the lieutenant's wife, on why the White House won't help. Classified hypocrisy. Will Democrats live by their words attacking Trump when Mr. Biden appears to have done the same thing? Protected parody. Police arrest Twitter users for making jokes about police. One of them tells us what happened to free speech. Nice to have you with us. First tonight, gun control by private companies. It's perfectly legal, and however you feel about guns, it's terrifying because it will start with guns, but it will not end there. Whatever rights you hold dear or think are important, say abortion or free speech, private companies are under great pressure to take those rights away. We'll start with the Second Amendment that we've all heard of, and of course the gun control debate. Just this week, Illinois passed an assault weapons ban. Who knows if it's constitutional? There's serious questions about whether it will actually prevent any of the nearly 1,000 murders every year just in Chicago. But it is a ban by the state. It can be challenged by the courts. There are appeals. There is, in the end, the U.S. Supreme Court. There are judges and everything else. But this week, Wells Fargo played state legislator, governor, Congress, president, Supreme Court, and FBI agent. They unilaterally closed the account of a gun store for no other reason than they wanted to. Wex Gun Works did business with Wells Fargo for 14 years. There is zero implication that they did anything wrong. Even Wells Fargo admits as much in their letter closing the gun store's multiple accounts. Quote, Wells Fargo performs ongoing reviews of its account relationships in connection with the bank's responsibilities to manage risks in its banking operations. Quote, we recently reviewed your account relationship, and as a result of this review, we will be closing your above reference accounts. In another letter canceling the gun store's line of credit, they wrote, the reasons for this action is banking guidelines exclude lending to certain types of businesses. I know what you're thinking. What about the Second Amendment? It doesn't apply to Wells Fargo or any other private business. Well, what Wells Fargo did, like it or not, is perfectly legal. And think about it. If a business can't bank, if any business cannot have bank accounts, you can't do business. You can't process credit cards. You can't pay payroll. You as a business owner can't pay suppliers. No bank, no business. And the CEOs of big banks face enormous pressure to use their position for social change. Lots of different types of social change, be it about abortion, be it about the First Amendment or the Second Amendment. In fact, Republican Senator Kevin Cramer of North Dakota knew this day would come as it related to the Second Amendment and asked the CEOs of the major banks about it.
Can you commit in front of this committee and the pay-per-view audience that's listening and watching that your bank will process all transactions for the purchase of legal goods and services?
We're going to continue to process transactions. It won't change anything we do.
So we do not intend to use the code to limit or restrict the purchase of firearms.
We don't intend to have any restrictions.
We will not have restrictions.
That was the CEO of the major banks talking about new laws as it related to new policies, as it related to credit card transactions and tracking credit card sales at gun stores. Imagine if it was the same rules about, say, abortion providers or purchasing some kind of pills at a given pharmacy. Less than 5 months after those promises, Wells Fargo took away the gun store's bank accounts. To be fair, Wells Fargo and other CEOs know where their bread is buttered. And that Elizabeth Warren, a fierce gun control advocate, is also on the Senate Banking Committee. Just a few months ago, the credit card companies caved not to laws, but to social pressure brought by politicians to create that special code and flag gun store purchases. That's what you heard the senator asking about. Think what you want about gun control, for it, against it, whatever you want. At its core, this is politicians bullying companies to stop otherwise legal behavior that the politicians don't like. Otherwise legal behavior that the politicians can't change the laws about because they don't have the votes. So the politicians use their oversight powers to bully private companies. That's not exactly what we in America elected them to do. That's On Point tonight. Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.